Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 things that I buy each and every week to stay on track. So by stay on track, I mean low carb lifestyle, carb cycling, and eating for my gut health. This video is actually sponsored by Viome. This is the gut health test that I took to get so much information about the state of my gut right now, but also the food list, the foods to avoid and the foods to increase. We will talk more about Viome and the gut health test that I took in just a few minutes, but let's jump into the things that I do bi-weekly because everything is to support my gut microbiome, and it's been 136 days that I've been eating this way, and I can tell you everything has changed. My bloating has gone down, my inflammation has gone down. I just feel so much better. I don't eat and then feel blah. I don't feel lethargic. I feel like energized, and I feel like my food is actually giving me nutrition and giving me energy rather than making me feel just blah and bloated after I eat it. So the very first thing on this list is going to be seafood. So based on my gut health test, salmon is a superfood. So I try to eat salmon once a week just to increase that healthy microbiome, and as well as cod. I eat cod probably once a week as well now, and there's so many fun recipes to try. You guys have seen them on my channel, but I really try to show them a lot on Instagram and on YouTube because there's so many ways to make food delicious and flavorful with just easy, simple ingredients. So I definitely make sure that I buy seafood every week to incorporate that into my weekly, mostly dinner meal plan. And I feel like that has really just not only inspired me to cook some new recipes, but it's switched it up a little bit from just like chicken all the time. Speaking of chicken, that's another one that I do bi-weekly because we eat so much of it. So if you haven't made my best chicken ever marinade, I will definitely have that recipe linked down below. You guys have to make it. It's so easy. You probably have all the ingredients to make it right now, and you can literally marinate it for 2 hours or 2 days. It doesn't really matter. It's a very flexible, easy to use recipe that you can use with anything. So I make my chicken salad out of this chicken. We make chicken salads, you know, Caesar salads, Greek salads, chicken salad sandwiches, dinners. Like when I make my Asian chicken bowls, I will use this chicken marinade because it's just so easy, but it's so flavorful. So we definitely buy chicken every week because I'm eating it for a lot of dinners and again, a lot of lunches. And on my microbiome testing, it was something that I can enjoy. So that really made my life easy, and thankfully, chicken was good to go. Dark meat and white meat. So if you've been following me for a while, you probably noticed that I don't eat a ton of fruit. I'm not a huge fruit person. Unless I'm pregnant, then I was craving fruit all day long, every day, all day. But now that I'm not, obviously, I just don't really get the craving for fruit. But on my gut health test results, for some of the really good low glycemic fruits were on my list of things to incorporate as superfoods. So what I started doing was just incorporating them a few times a week. And what I found is that I do like having fruit just a couple times a week. So the main fruits that I buy right now, because they are superfoods, are strawberries. So good. We actually just went to the farmer's market and got fresh strawberries that were like, it's hard to go back to the grocery store strawberries when you get them from like a farm stand. They're so good, but I love strawberries. So I incorporate them a couple times a week, as well as blackberries. So good. I forgot how much I liked blackberries. I like them no matter how they are. If they're tart and sweet, I like them, but if they're like kind of mild and soft, I like that too. They're just like such a good fruit. And again, they're on my superfood list. And then third, I started incorporating some grapes. So nothing too crazy. I don't eat like a bag of grapes a day or anything. I just have a couple of them, sometimes with my cheese as a snack. It's just the perfect snack for when you just want to like pop a couple grapes into your mouth and you're good. And it's summer, so frozen grapes, oh my gosh, outside in this heat, in the sun, by the pool, they're just a winner every single time. So I have been incorporating those as well because they are superfoods, and I'm just trying to do everything I can to improve the state of my gut health. So let's talk really quickly about the gut health test that I took before I go on more with my list, because I feel like the right gut health test that gives you the health scores that you need is really important. So this video is sponsored by Viome. That is the test that I took. I did the full body intelligence test, and it gave me over 50 health scores. And they get those health scores by using mRNA technology. The scores were amazing. Like, I was blown away by some of the health scores. Some of them scored really high, but then some of my health scores were kind of low. So I was immediately really interested in improving these health scores and really like putting the pedal to the metal for the next 6 months until I test again. And like I said, I'm on day 136 right now. So I'm getting close, and I can't wait to retest again after I've been implementing all these healthy changes. Once you get your test kit, you just put your samples in there, mail it back, and then you get your results within 2 to 3 weeks. And the app is so easy to use. It gives you all your test scores, which again, some of them surprised me, I'm not gonna lie. But then at the same time, I wasn't feeling the best after I was eating, so it all made sense. I just didn't feel energized, and even though I was eating low carb, I was just eating kind of the wrong foods for my gut, and it made sense why I felt bloated and inflamed. So once I got the test scores, I went over them, and then I went right to the food list. So there's 4 food lists that you get with your test, and it's all housed in the app. It's very easy to use. You can use the search bar and search for foods, and the 4 lists are superfoods. Eat these foods as often as you can, which you're gonna see I eat a lot of, which is what this list is compiled of, my weekly list. But then there's also the enjoy list. They are good to go. Eat them too, enjoy them along with the superfoods. But then the other 2 lists are the minimize list and the avoid list. So what I decided to do in the very beginning is just cut out those 2 categories right away and just not eat any of the things that were on there for at least, I did this for about 45 days. And then I incorporated them slowly, which is what Viome kind of suggests. And I could kind of tell right away which ones I was like, yep, I'm gonna stay away from those for a little bit longer. And then other ones were actually okay. So that's like a trial and error thing that I've been going through as well. I can do a separate video on that for sure. If anyone is interested, let me know down in the comments. But the cool thing about the food list is it takes all the guesswork out of all of this. I didn't need to do an elimination diet. This test told me everything. So I know exactly what foods my gut needs and which ones to avoid to kind of improve the state of my gut health. So it's awesome. And again, that's where this list pretty much came from. So if you were interested in testing your gut health just to see where you're at and then to get your special food list that's tailored just for you based on your results, you're gonna go to tryviome.com/heart. I will put it on screen here, and it's also gonna be linked down in the description box. So once you go to that link, you're gonna wanna use code HEART110. That's HEART110, HART110, and that is gonna give you $110 off any test that you choose. I did the full body intelligence test, and like I said, it just blew me away by how many health scores I got, the food list, just how I could like hit the ground running and start improving my gut health immediately, which is exactly what I did. And like I said, now I'm on day 136 and I feel amazing. So definitely check out the description box down below. I'm gonna go on with my list, but thank you again to Viome for sponsoring this video. I cannot say enough good things about them. Okay, so the next thing that I like to buy every week is definitely almond milk. So my husband puts this in his coffee, but I love to make smoothies, and the milk that I choose to use is always gonna be almond milk. I usually buy the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and I feel like it's perfection. It's just so good. Again, it's on the approved list for my gut health. So I feel good enjoying it, and I feel good making smoothies, especially when I'm on the go. It's a great easy way to get some protein and just move on. You know how it is in the summer. You're just like all over the place. Making a smoothie takes like a couple of minutes and then you're good to go, and it's very filling and it keeps me full for hours. So I just love having that as an option during the day. Okay, this one is kind of a new one for me, but it is ricotta cheese. This is my favorite brand ever because it only has 2 grams of carbs per quarter cup. Some of them, check your labels, have like 6, 7, 8 grams. This one is definitely my favorite, and it tastes amazing. So what do I do with this? Well, cow's milk and cow's cheese is completely good for my gut, so thankfully, I enjoy that every single day. So this is my favorite one for sure, but I love to put this on my white pizzas. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, definitely follow me because I show my lunches and I'm eating a lot of like white pies. So I just I season the ricotta cheese, and then I spread that onto a low carb tortilla, add on some mozzarella, add on some pepperoni or whatever. Sometimes I do mushrooms too. It's just whatever I'm feeling like and whatever I have in the fridge, I just throw on this pizza, bake it, voila. It's amazing, and it's such a good lunch, and it's filling, high protein, so I'm always having this stocked in my fridge. If I'm not using it for pizza, I'm using it for like sausage, pepper, and onion bowls. So instead of making a sandwich, I will put seasoned ricotta cheese on the bottom of a bowl, and then I'll put my sausage on top, I'll put my peppers and onions on top. Oh, it's just so comforting. It's so good for a little bit of extra fat and also to bump up the protein in my meals. So I love having this on hand. It's so good. And you could do so many things with it, like sausage, peppers, and onions, my sausage pesto bowls. I have a whole video on that. Oh my gosh, there's just, the options are endless. But what I do like to do when I'm doing like an Italian style meal or the pizza, I will season this first with salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, dried oregano or dried Italian seasoning, and then a little bit of crushed red pepper. And then I mix it all together, make sure it tastes good, and then sky's the limit. Then you can add it to any recipe you want. It's just so, so delicious. So the next thing on my list is some kind of crunchy snack. And this kind of changes weekly, sometimes more than that, sometimes every 3 weeks, because I do get stuck on things. Like I do really like to eat certain things and I eat a lot of them and then I get sick of them and I move on to the next thing. So I like to have some kind of crunchy snack for if and when I'm feeling like it. So I love these lentil chips. Again, I got my gut health test results and I saw lentil was on there and then I saw these chips and I was like, oh, because I usually eat cauliflower chips or cauliflower, like those cauliflower rolls or cauliflower crackers, but cauliflowers are a no-no. So instead I switched over to something else. So I grabbed these I got from Wegmans, but they also have them at my Giant, which is like a Stop and Shop up in Pennsylvania. They're light and airy lentil chips. These are the sea salt ones. They taste like a popcorn chip, like a buttered popcorn chip. What I do, so there's 16 net carbs in 28 of these chips. To me, they just taste like a literal popcorn chip. They're so delicious. And this brand I like because they're free from 14 of the most common allergies. So like wheat, sesame, mustard, tree nuts, peanuts, those kind of things. So this is a great brand if you do have a kid. That's how I figured it out, that has allergies. But they are just a great brand in general. I do like the Enjoy Life brand. But anyway, so these chips are 16 net carbs for 28 of them. So I will usually have like a quarter of a serving. Like I don't need that many, you know, or a third of a serving is 9-ish, you know? So like I don't even eat the whole 16, but if you only eat a quarter of a serving, you're at 4 net carbs, you know? So it's like, you can make it work. So if you're finding things like this and you read the label and you're like, oh, there's almost 20 net carbs in that, but look how many chips it's for, 28 chips, you know? So that's what I've been doing too, is enjoying things that I may not have in the past, but making the serving size fit my day, you know? And if I have extra carbs at the end of the day and I'm still hungry and I want a snack, like this is what I grab and then I can have a couple more, you know? That's how I've been able to make low carb into a lifestyle. You don't cut out things, you just make them work. And these are so good. And like, you don't even need to dip them into anything. They're just good the way they are. All right, what's next? Avocados. I'm obsessed with avocados and I probably have been on this kick for months now, especially when I got my gut health test results and they said avocado was good to go. So definitely increased them. I feel like the healthy fat in avocado really works well for my maintenance in the low carb lifestyle because it allows me to enjoy something that I really like, which is an avocado, but it also brings that healthy fat into my meals and keeps me really full for a long time. So I preach high protein because that's what really works for me. So high protein, good healthy fats in every meal, boom. I'm fuller for longer. I don't really crave too many things anymore. Like I eat my meals and I'm good. And like I like to have crunchy snacks on hand, but I don't need them. I don't need a snack every single day, you know? So it's nice to have the healthy fats and I feel like avocado is the perfect way to incorporate that in a lot of my meals during the week. So I will put avocado in my salads. I will do those Asian chicken bowls, which are my favorite, and I'll have cold avocado in there with like the warm veggies and the warm chicken. It's just such a good combo. Oh my gosh, with spicy mayo on top. Delicious, delicious. So these are always in my fridge. And a little trick that I learned is that if you buy them and they're rock hard, which is what happens at my store, they're all rock hard, and then there's like a bin of like ones that were ready yesterday, and I'm not gonna buy them, so I buy the hard ones, put them in the fridge, and then when you're ready to eat them, take them out and let them sit out for like a day, and you're good to go. So they stay a lot longer when they're in the fridge versus when I would buy like 4 or 5 and they would all be ready at the same time on the same day, and I wouldn't be able to eat them all before they went bad. So I've been keeping them in the fridge, storing them there, buying them more in bulk, like bags, by the bag, and then it's great. When I'm ready to have them, they're not super mushy and they're like perfect. So that's my trick. I buy them weekly. Love, love, love avocados. Okay, the next thing is going to be butter, but not just any butter. I really have been cleaning up my diet and trying to get things with like good ingredients, you know? So butter to me, I use a lot of butter, like every day. And I'm also giving my kids butter, like on their toast and things like that. So I'm like, okay, let's just go for the best. And I've been using Kerrygold butter because I just feel like it's the best tasting and it's my favorite. And people put it in their coffee. I used to too. If you've been here since then, make sure you like this video. But yeah, it's just a great butter overall. And I feel like the quality of ingredients, I'm just trying to clean things up little by little by little. Am I perfect? No. Do you have to be perfect? No. But if there's something that you feel like you want to clean up and just get better ingredients, or just, you know, search your store, see what you can find and clean up one thing at a time. That's what I'm doing. And it feels really good to do that because I feel like my baby steps get me really far if I look back in hindsight. So don't think you have to do everything all in one day. And yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. All right, now let's talk cheeses, because this video could be all about cheese, to be honest. I could pick 10 cheeses that I buy every week, but I have a drawer in my fridge that's just for cheese. Just for cheese. I've got goat cheese in there. I have 3 different kinds of slicing cheese, so like cheese and cracker cheese, and I usually get the pepper jack, some kind of cheddar, and then my son loves like a Colby, like the multicolored one, so we always have that on hand. And I just finished them, but I showed them in one of my previous videos. It was the Argyle Farms cheese curds. Oh my god, they're so good. Love having them on hand when I can get my hands on them. For shredded cheese, oh my gosh, we have like usually 3 or 4 different kinds, literally. We usually have the Mexican shredded, we have mozzarella, I usually have some kind of cheddar shredded in there. You know, we have it all. So my cheese drawer is always fully stocked because that's what I like to go for when I'm snacking, and my husband does too. So we always have tons of cheese. I know that I think about it, my kids love cheese too, so it just makes sense that it has its own drawer and it's fully stocked. Baby Bell cheese, string cheeses, oh my gosh, there's so much in there. And again, all the cheeses are good for my gut health, so this is great. This is great news. Awesome news for me. And then let's talk about vegetables. So when I got my gut health test results back, I realized that a lot of the vegetables that I was eating presently were not gonna be good for my gut health. And it was no question anymore why I felt the way I felt, because I was eating a lot of broccoli, I was eating a lot of cauliflower, I was eating a lot of asparagus and Brussels sprouts. Those were all on like the no-go list. So it made sense. Like I said, the results made sense. So what did I do? I just pivoted over to the vegetables that were on the approved list from the gut health test, which was awesome. So I moved over to zucchini and mushrooms and peppers. Mushrooms are actually a superfood. Like a bunch of them were, different kinds were on my superfood list, which is awesome because I love mushrooms, but I rarely eat them because my husband's not a huge fan. So you guys know how it goes. It's just easier to cook the vegetables that everyone likes. But again, I just pivoted a little bit. I incorporate mushrooms now, and it's all good. So I just kind of shifted. Radishes I started eating more of. I'm staying away from tomatoes just because it was a no-go. So I've just pivoted. So I take everything from my list and I just made meal plans around the foods that I could eat and just kind of ignored the foods that I couldn't, and feel so much better because of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely make sure you check out Viome down in the description box and use my code to get some money off of your test. And I'll see you guys really soon with my next one. Bye everybody.